Get the whole story.
Thank you for watching KTN News and welcome back to Planet Act. Have discussions around climate change, the things that we need to put in place to make sure that the country, the world that we are in is a better place. And now I just want to talk about the voice of the children. But before that now, Sabaki Primary School, established in 1963 in Magarini, Kilifi County, has a rich history of nurturing exceptional students who have achieved national recognition over 6 decades. However, the school is facing a critical challenge to its legacy due to climate change impacts. Notably, the Sabaki River overflows, causing soil erosion and landslides. Deforestation has worsened the situation, making the school's infrastructure vulnerable. As Levis Musumba reports, the community is now calling for attention to safeguard the school's 6-year legacy.
Simon Kingi, a Sabaki Primary alumnus and a school committee member, reflects on the school's impact as both an educational institution and a symbol of community strength.
Kuna madaktari wako hapa. Wengine wanafanya hata kwa katika ofisi ya gavana, ni wakubwa kule. Msingi wao ulitoka hapa hapa.
Sabaki Primary School, an esteemed educational institution in Malindi, Kilifi County, has thrived for 6 decades since its establishment in 1963. However, it faces a pressing threat from climate change.
Kuna hili bonde hapa, limeanza kuaffect hii nyumba, watoto wanaosomea, imeanza kucrack. Tulikuwa tuna hii tulibidi tuifunge kwa sababu ya haya maporomoko yaliyoko.
The Sabaki River, once the community's lifeline, now poses risk with overflowing water, causing erosion and landslides near the school. The school's infrastructure is at risk, urging urgent rehabilitation from the County Department of Environment and Climate Change.
Hapa Sabaki Ward, nafikiri shule ambayo imeathirika zaidi ni hii moja kwa sababu iko karibu sana na mto. Pili, wakazi ambao wako karibu na mto, ukishafurika inabidi wahamishwe. So kuna hiyo displacement.
Sabaki Primary underlines the urgency for collective action to address climate change's impact on education sector.
Mimi kama mzazi na mwanafunzi niliyesoma hapa, ninasikia mwangu moyoni inaniumiza. Kama kungelikuwa na mipango mizuri, hii mambo ya maporomoko iondoke.
The community were able to identify that area as a problem, and now they're working on to develop a landscape restoration for Sabaki as a primary school and the immediate neighbors that are living around Sabaki Primary.
For KTN News, I'm Levis Musumba.
Thank you, Levis, for that report coming from Kilifi County. And Kilifi County is represented in studio right now by Jada Nema from Kilifi County. She is an environmentalist, a child who I experienced her a while back in an interview, and she's outspoken on matters to do with climate change. Welcome on set, Jada, as we have this conversation. Now, Jada, Kilifi County is a place you call home. And a while back when I met you the first time, you had a problem with how trees were being cut and faded out of the country. Why was it such a big concern for you?
It was a big concern for me because one thing is that the forest and the ocean are connected. So everyone knows that the trees sink in carbon, give out oxygen, as the ocean as well does that too. So the more we cut trees, the ocean gets burdened. It becomes more acidic due to too much of carbon emitted into the atmosphere. So when you cut a tree, carbon is released into the atmosphere. So the ocean has a lot of burden and it affects sea life. It becomes more acidic. The corals bleach and animals we get biodiversity loss. So that's why I was so concerned.
And as a very as a child, and in this space, someone would look at you and say, "But what exactly does she know about climate change?" But you are an ambassador in your own right on matters climate change. Now, when you sit with your peers and just have discussions around climate change, what is your message?
Because when I'm with my peers, my message is that we should start let's say cleanups. They should start doing cleanups around their homes, so that they can attend at least big cleanups while their home area is clean, and they can also pass the message that I tell them. So the more I teach them, they learn. Some don't learn. So,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
so.
Yeah. So the ones that learn pass the message on, and some say that they do the cleanup. Some say that they want to join with the environmental advocacy. So I think that's my message, that wherever you are, you should keep it clean. Yeah.
And now, Jada, when we have these conversations about climate change, when we were in Kilifi, we had the governor there and you directly spoke to the governor. I mean, when we have these discussions around climate change, do you feel like the voice of the children are heard?
I can say not really, because mostly like I really want to go for the environmental training, but they're usually 16 and above. So it's kind of tricky for the children's voices to be heard. And so if your voice is heard, maybe you had a connection, like a really strong connection that they took you there, your voice is being heard. So I think that we should lower the age bracket so that children can have more space to talk about what they're really concerned about, what's making them feel what's making them do what they want. Like, let's say you want to speak, you want your voice to be heard. So you don't want to just keep it in and say, oh my God, I'm too young for that. So I think that sometimes it can be heard only with connections.
Only with connections.
Yeah.
But now let us break all these connections and make it easy for you, right? So now the age bracket is 16. But that notwithstanding, you are passionate on matters to do with climate change. You are an ambassador. You speak to your peers. You are in these organizations. You understand things to do with climate change. So what would you want the government, Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Environment to do to make it easier for you to be able to be heard, to attend these meetings and have your voice heard?
So first, the age bracket, as I said, it should be lowered. And second, I think that, the age bracket should be lowered, because there are some kids who are really young, not even about to reach the teen stage, not even in the double-digit age. So they feel kind of left out. So it should be lowered, and
Yeah, right? Yeah. So now let's talk about in your school, yeah? Is matters to do with environment something that is really close to your school in terms of let us come today and clean the environment, let us today come and plant flowers, let us take care of our environment? Is that something that is big in school? And do you think maybe we should include environment days in the curriculum?
Yeah, it's in my school. Sometimes, I created, when I went to my school, there was no environmental group, so I created it. And I'm the leader of the environmental group, and we do plant flowers, trees around our school compound, and I think that tree plantings should be added to our curriculum. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So finally, I want us to talk about the fact that you have this group in school. Is Mom your big supporter when it comes to matters to do with climate change?
Yeah, she is a really big supporter. Like she, let's say, I've passed like, I've let, I've passed, I've gone to a big talk and I'm like so nervous. She would be there to support me and encourage me that I'm brave, I'm smart. Like when I was coming on my way here, I was so nervous and she was encouraging me, and she's a really big supporter, very.
So how important is that parental support when it comes to children like you who want to get into this environment space, but they don't know how to get to their parents? So how did you manage to convince Mom that, Mom, I am an environment champion. I don't fear the dirt. I want to be that guy in school.
It was an easy approach. Like when I moved from the village, it was so clean and green. I was raised there. I was used to all the freshness. When I was going to school, I would pass by two clean, clear streams, and they were so beautiful. But when I relocated to Nairobi, the air quality wasn't good because of the fumes emitted into the atmosphere, and there are heaps of trash everywhere. You can't walk 1 meter without finding trash. If you find a tree somewhere, the next day it will be cut. It will be cut down. You won't find it at all. And there are a lot of concrete jungles. So, and there's a concrete jungle like everywhere. Just skyscrapers, tall buildings. So my mom noticed that, and there was a day I went to it. I was supposed to go to a national park with my family, and on the same day there was a strike happening. My mom asked me if I wanted to go to the national park or I go for the strike, and I said I want to go for the strike. I met a lot of people there, like.
Why were people striking?
Okay, there was a tree planting, a strike. There was tree planting, strike, and cleanup on the same day. And we planted trees, and those trees eventually died, and they were counted in the data as like the trees were counted in the database for like how many trees have been planted. They all died, but I met a lot of people. Like, if you may allow me to mention their names, Elijah, Mercy, Olivia, and many more people, a lot of people. Until today, I'm still working with that organization. I'm the ambassador and I'm the children's director. So it's so, my mom was like, wow, you're really doing a great job. And she learned from me. And she used to do fashion, so she changed it to sustainable. So she learned it from me, and I'm proud of her.
So today you are an environmentalist, you are a civil rights activist on the streets, you're planting trees. Unfortunately, they died. I'll give you one to go plant, yeah? So that you take care of it and make sure it grows. And finally, Mom also got into this environment thing. She is now doing fashion that is what again? Sustainable fashion. All that because of you. When you sit and see the influence that you're having in the society out there, How does that make you feel? And I'm sorry that you came to Nairobi. It is a concrete jungle, heaps of trash everywhere. Please speak to the leadership of this town so that they can clean it.
So the question was that, okay, so before I continue, I think it's us that's supposed to take care of this place because like people usually say, the president should come and clean this up, it's dirty. The governor, like it's our responsibility. So I think we should work together and just not say the government. Yeah. And what was the question?
All right, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that is Jada Nema. She is an ambassador. She is passionate about the environment. She is a civil rights activist in her own right, getting out there, making sure that things get work. Unfortunately, she planted trees that didn't do well. I have a tree next to me. I'll give this to her so that she goes to plant and takes care of it. And this is the environment conversation that we should be having. Her mom is her biggest supporter. You at home, a parent, talk to your children to be part of this conversation because like Gukar said earlier, he's growing trees not for himself but for the future generation. She's growing trees so that when she is an adult, she can go back and enjoy the good air that she experienced in her village, seeing clear streams. These is all initiatives that we all can do. My name is Dennis Aseto. This is Planet Action. Eric Latif is coming top of the hour with the Newsline. And like I keep saying on this show, keep being green. Good evening.